Hello, everyone. This is Toby, the Galactic Intuitive. How is everyone doing? I hope you guys are having a great start to your week. I feel like I say this on a regular basis. We're going to do something a little different today. If you've been here before, you know that that's a regular occurrence. I do my very best to follow the guidance that I receive from the Nine and from Spirit. And so that being said, I started to I pulled some cards anticipating with the intention that they would be a bit of a mini reading for our membership. However, and don't worry, members, explorers in particular, I will do a separate one just for you. However, this is definitely a collective message. And I hesitate to put this out there because of the topic. It's one we don't talk about a lot here not because it's not important, but because the messages and the information that I receive are really founded and surrounding the theme of sovereignty and the steps and the growth and the expansion and the awareness and even the work, the reflection that is required in order for us to reach that point of energetic sovereignty. And so all things, and we talk about relationship here, but all things they follow from that. That's our starting point. So this message is about, there are two layers to it. And I've already got the cards down here, which is why I keep looking down. I'm going to put those up on the screen so that you can see them at different points in this, and I'll hold them up as well so that you can see all the cards. I pulled these earlier today and I left them here so that I could come back and then record this message around it for you. The two aspects of this message, they're intertwined, but this can be, we're speaking about a coming together of divine masculine and divine feminine. And now that can be in reference to two individual people. That also can be in reference to the integration that happens within us of our own divine masculine and divine feminine. And so that's where we come to when we're talking about being energetically sovereign and having that balanced divine masculine and feminine energy within us. And it's really that balance point that allows us to open then to the type of relationship in which those archetypes are balanced. And I'm not speaking of gender roles or who does what, but I'm speaking of that reciprocity and the balancing between the giving, the receiving, the some of you might object to this phrase, but this is what I'm hearing, the leading and the following. I mean, there is always going to be the partnership, balance in partnership. So with that prologue, we're going to start. So I pulled 3 cards initially from the Light Seers Tarot, and the cards I pulled were, the first one, the King of Swords. The second card, the Six of Cups. And when I got those 2 cards, I thought, I have a feeling I know where this is going already. And I had already planned to pull 3 cards. Then the third card confirmed it. Whoops, wrong way. We have the Queen of Swords. So we have a matching king and queen from the same suit. And then we have the Six of Cups in the middle. The Six of Cups are representing, it can be past life connections, it can be nostalgia, it can be connecting to the inner child. It can be a looking back and remembrance, fondly. That's that sense of nostalgia. But more than just nostalgia, this feels like a returning to an old dream as well, to an old desire or wish. I don't mean old, I mean past past, a returning to something from the past. This can also be a returning of someone from your past. Now, we have just entered into Mercury retrograde, and that is kind of one of the more recognized themes of Mercury retrograde, is where, of course, it is reflection. It is a words, right? So themes of RE, so returning of people that you've known, experiences you've had, that type of thing. So that can indicate a return of people from your past. So we started with that, and I was struck initially that also tomorrow is 11/11. Now, we had a message about the Hearth of Continuity the other day, and they mentioned the 11/11 portal of this year, and then the one in 2 years' time. I'm hesitating because I'm feeling a very, very slight connection to what we're going to talk about here today in relation to that Hearth of Continuity. That's not the main message for us here, though, so I'm not going to explore that right now. I may come back and explore that another time. I mean, I'm sure we will continue to talk about the Hearth of Continuity. And as a matter of fact, I just added an activation for that. And I had mentioned not too long ago that we were going to have an activation around the Cosmic Symphony, and the message that came out about that, I don't know when, 5, 6, 7 days ago. And so that finally the pieces came together over the weekend, and it is the Cosmic Symphony at the Hearth of Continuity. So that activation is available on my website. It's also available in the Explorers membership, so it's included in that. So if you were considering membership, that is just one of the many extra offerings available there, as well as that Mercury retrograde reflection. So anyway, check those out if you're interested in them. If you're not interested in the membership, you can always purchase both of those individually through the website. Links will be in the description box. So 11/11, that, all right, so let's talk about twin flames a little bit. There's a lot of talk about twin flames, and in this spiritual kind of, it's working its way into the general collective. My thought on the twin flame narrative is that if we look at this from a healthy perspective, then that represents the two halves of the whole. Now, this is not to say, and this is just energetically speaking, because by no means is an individual person not whole in themselves. We've talked about energetic sovereignty, right? That's being whole within yourself. However, you can also come into union with another individual who helps to balance. I don't even want to say that. Another individual who whose frequency is in coherence with yours. And it is this matching of frequencies that does create an elevation in the connection between the two of you. That is not to say that you cannot elevate by yourself. This is where I have an issue with twin flame narrative, is that there's so much out there about that it's half of your soul and you're incomplete without the other half. That's crap. Sorry, but I'm not sorry. That's crap. Not to minimize the importance of that type of coherent relationship that is balanced, that has, I just keep coming back to reciprocity, maybe because it is the Mercury retrograde and it's another reword, but the importance of the balance and recognizing that the weights, the scales, right, they are going to shift, but the importance is that they come into balance more often than not, or remain in balance more often than not. There's a whole lot more to it. That's just the basics part. So I bring that up because 1111 is oftentimes correlated with a twin flame type recognition, or synchronicity, or even a portal. It is also associated with like the Four of Wands card in the tarot, which represents foundation. It can be marriage. It's a coming together in celebration, but in a way that celebrates the foundation of something that is going to become greater together. So where am I going with this? So we have the King of Swords. It just as a reminder, and I'm wearing blue today. I always seem to match the cards. I don't mean to. The King and Queen of Swords, which is interesting though, because the way they came up on my desk is like this. They were facing different directions. And with the Six of Cups in the middle. What's interesting too to me is that the feminine is not represented here in the Six of Cups. Actually, my guides are saying that's not true. The feminine is represented by the child. And okay, so I'm about to jump ahead, so let's just go into it. I pulled some cards to clarify each of these three energies, right? The King of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. Am I still recording? Okay. What came through for the King of Swords was the Ten of Wands, and I used mystical moments, or the Tarot of Mystical Moments for this. That's what this deck is. So we have the Ten of Swords, we have the Tower, and we have the Two of Pentacles. Now, what I immediately felt was that the King of Swords, now again, this could be in reference to an individual. It could be in reference to you if you identify as the divine masculine, or if you're more focused on the divine masculine energy within you, or this could be in reference to the divine masculine energy within you, and how that is being reflected internally. So the divine masculine, I'm hearing the divine masculine's fed up. Fed up in the way, but it feels like he's fed up with some of his own thought patterns, but there are external forces involved in this too. He feels, now the sword energy is about the mental space, but it's also about ideas, thought forms. It can be about communication as well. So I feel like he's reached a breaking point here, and what's going on is he's sitting here, like it's almost as if he's sitting across from the tower. I don't think he's sitting on the tower. I'm not getting that impression. He's removed himself from the tower, right? And this is where he's sitting, right? Notice the blue again. We have the Two of Pentacles, which is kind of juggling two things, going back and forth between two options, trying to make something balanced that is inherently difficult to balance. And so I feel like the King of Swords has kind of thrown his hands up and said, okay, I'm done with this. Trying to maintain this balance when things are inherently out of balance is causing me too much mental struggle. It's led me to make choices that betray what I truly believe and what I know to be true about myself. It's time for me to let this go. I'm going to let it fall down. I'm going to let it crumble. That's that release, that surrender. And again, that can be the divine masculine within you who's saying, this is not working. I am whatever this is, whatever the mode of action and thought pattern that has been through consistently throughout the past is no longer working for me. It is causing me pain. It is causing me to feel like the things are closing in on me, and I cannot get free from the restriction in the mental space because of these patterns. I am going to let that fall away. And interestingly, see how the tower is like very much associated with her hair here? See where the 10 of Swords are? I'm going to let this fall away. I'm not going to continue to try and hold this up and juggle it anymore. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And look at how at peace he is. He's very much at peace. And he's been following, and this has been the guidance from his guides as well, and from his higher self, like the higher self represented with the crow. We have a bat here as well. So seeing beyond the visual, seeing and taking in information outside of our what am I trying to say? The I don't want to say the normal five senses. That's not right. beyond the traditional five senses. That's not even the word I want to use, but you know what I'm saying. And then we have the owl here too as the guide. He's surrendered. So I'm going to go to the Queen of Swords now. First, I'm going to take a sip of tea. And yes, I know my cup has a chip in it, but it's one of my favorites. My owl cup. So have a sip of tea. Trying to not slurp. I've been dealing with some allergies, so kind of... Anyway, back to the reading. Queen of Swords. Okay, so the cards that came out in clarifying the Queen of Swords. We have... And again, they're facing two different directions here. We have the Chariot, movement. We have the Three of Wands, waiting for something to come in. But we have movement as well. And we have the Queen of Cups. Connection to compassion, to the inner mother, to the generosity of spirit and emotional. This feels like sometimes the Queen of Cups in reversed can be the people pleaser. So this feels very much like, here's our Chariot energy, right? The Queen of Swords has been moving away from, again, we have this similar, and we have the card here of the past, Six of Cups, right? We have this similar theme of moving away from past patterns of behavior. Now, the patterns of behavior that we're talking about are different between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies represented here. But with this Queen of Cups, we have the divine feminine, the Queen of Swords, coming into this place of balancing out her emotional well-being, regulating her emotions, using the thought space and the mental space to help balance this out from a place of being very, very honest with herself. Being very honest with herself. Very honest as to what needs to be let go of and what can stay, and what the defining factor is her discernment, and what her discernment says is, does it serve me? See how she has that sword in her hand? She's not hesitating to remove something that does not serve her. And that's something not coming from a place of selfishness. That's coming from a place of understanding what serves her highest good, what or who or the situations, the behavior patterns, the thought forms, the belief systems, what allows her to continue to rise. Okay, so she's reached a point. What is that? Interesting. I'm not sure. Okay, she's reached a point. I was looking at this little like bowl here. Oh, look. Cups. So that's very interesting because at some point she had, in order to do this, she had put the Queen of Cups within her on hold. She put the cups within in a safe place to protect it. But now she has integrated this. And now she understands that she can unite the two together. That she can act from a balanced place where she honors her heart, moves with an open heart, and yet maintains that level of inner honesty with herself and discernment. And this is the balance of the Chariot as well. Oh, my nose itches. So this is the balance of the Chariot as well. The Chariot in the traditional tarot is represented by either, well, let me find it. It's an actual chariot, but it either has two lions out in front or two horses, one black, one white. And what's interesting is that the person who seems to be directing the chariot, who is riding on the chariot, is actually not directing it. They are, they don't hold the reins in their hands. They're allowing spirit. There it is. There we go. They're allowing spirit to drive. And that's what she's doing here. She's allowing for that balance within her and allowing that to propel her forward. Now, there is this sense of she's looking ahead. That's the Three of Wands, right? Looking to the future. There is a sense with the Three of Wands of also a little bit of waiting on something, but it doesn't keep her. It's like she knows something is coming, and so she keeps an eye out on the horizon, but it does not stop her forward progression. That's not dictating the direction she's going. She has an awareness that there is something coming. And what I'm getting from this is that something coming is this middle row, which is the Six of Cups. So again, we have the inner child here, and the puppy. And then we have the adult man and the older dog. And this remembrance of a childhood dream or wish, even a wish or a dream from the past. It doesn't have to be as far back as childhood. But there's also, with this card, see how there's a pathway with the cups? There's also a recognition here of where the separation occurred along the way. Within one's lifetime, where the separation occurred along the way. And by that separation, I mean what we've talked about here for the divine masculine and divine feminine. So for the divine feminine, the Queen of Swords, it was the people pleasing, right? Or the oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. It was losing that connection of being honest and discerning with herself in favor of pleasing another, or having holding an illusion around what something truly was. For the King of Swords, for the divine masculine, it was this pattern of thought and behavior that kept him trapped in this space of feels like burnout, of being continually trying to balance upon this very, very small building, very high up in the sky, trying to balance and twirl this infinity with the whatever these things are here, these little balls, trying to maintain this and fighting for a sense of balance that does not exist inherently. So there is the commonality here is honesty with oneself, right? So then we come to the clarifying cards for the Six of Cups. We have the King of Pentacles. Now, in the Mystical Moments Tarot, or Tarot of Mystical Moments, there are two kings for each suit. There's a Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. This is the Divine Feminine King of Pentacles. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. That's a lot of pentacles, but that's also very much based in reality. It's tangible, right? The Three of Pentacles is about building something with others. But it's, again, this is not based in illusion. This is not based in hopes, wishes, and dreams. Not to say that they don't fulfill that, but it is based in something that is tangible, something material, something that can be touched, something that can be not just thought about or wished for, but actually taking action towards that produces something in the physical reality. And then the Ten of Pentacles, of course, is it is the culmination of creating that thing, which it's also often associated with a happy home life, an abundant home life, and in whatever form of abundance resonates for you, but really all forms of abundance. And so there's a sense of satisfaction with that. He's at peace. And then we have the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles, so again, similar energy, right? The King of Pentacles is grounded. He's generous. He is steady and straightforward. He is loyal and dedicated. He doesn't rush. He's not impulsive, but he is compassionate. So it feels like the reason why this is all coming out is that we have this time opening up for us, potentially initiating with the 11/11 date tomorrow. And because that Hearth of Continuity message came up, this could be anywhere from now until November 11th of 2027. I know that's a very long window. However, we're all on different parts of our journey. And again, it also, depending upon where you are in your own journey, will inform how this plays out for you. So if you are working on balancing your divine feminine and divine masculine internally, then this is what that's speaking about. If you've been working on that and you're feeling more in balance and you're seeing what I'm describing here as things that have occurred or things you've already worked through or reflected on, then we're talking about a potential coming together with another individual. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's romantic. It may be a very close friend. It may be a mentor. It may be a pet, but a soulmate of some sort. Soulmates can show up in our lives in so many different forms and roles. So this coming together is what we have, this remembrance, right? We have a remembrance and a recognition of where the separation occurred. And then the connection to how that initiated the behavior and the thought and the belief patterns within the divine masculine and the divine feminine in the past. Okay. And now that we're at this point of recognition and remembrance, we have the divine feminine and divine masculine coming together to build something. This is that integration. See how the bricks are laid one on top of each other? This is the integration. And it's through this feminine King of Pentacles archetype that we have the compassion, we have the loyalty, we have the generosity of spirit, we have the generosity in the physical world. And that doesn't necessarily have to be with money, but with, there's a sense of a helping hand, of a person, or, and again, if this is talking about somebody external to you, this is someone that that is there to help you. And also in ways that are consistent, not in and out, not unreliable. The King of Pentacles is exceptionally reliable and loyal and trustworthy and honest. And this is what comes from it. Now, again, this can be the integration of the divine masculine, divine feminine within you. But what comes from it is the 10 of Pentacles. And that's abundance in all forms. That's security. That's a solid foundation. That's serenity and satisfaction. And that is abundance that exists beyond this lifetime. This is something that is shared with future generations. Now, again, this may be it's wealth in all forms. And sometimes that wealth speaks to these new behavior patterns, right? This is that generational healing that we've talked about. Okay, so, oh my gosh, I've been talking for a long time. Okay, we're going to do one more card to close it up. We're just going to get an overall energy. All of a sudden, I'm really, really hot. My face is getting really warm. There's a lot of energy around this. There's a lot of intensity around this. It feels very, very positive, you guys. Very positive. So however this plays out for you, if this resonates for you, this is really exciting. I mean, on an internal level and an external level, this is really, really amazing. So okay, yeah. We're going to do life, soul, vision, and I'm going to move this away from the microphone because I know it's been loud in past readings. I was going to put like a tablecloth or something over the desk to muffle the shuffling a little bit. But I haven't had a chance to do that, and I wasn't anticipating doing a card reading for you guys today. I had other thoughts, but this came up and it absolutely needed to be out there as we are, it felt very critical. Yeah, my guides were like, no, you have to do it now. So, okay. Life, Soul, Vision, Oracle by Romy Weiser. Check it out. If you don't have one of these decks, I don't, I'm not, what am I trying to say? I'm not paid to say that. I just love this deck and I love the creator. She's amazing. Okay. All right. So overall theme here to wrap up this reading, please, Spirit. Thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys. Don't we have a new moon in Scorpio coming up soon? We have a new moon. Deliberate intention. Is it going to focus? There we go. Well, and it's card number 14, which breaks down to a 5. 5 is the number of change. What day is the new moon on? I mean, I know it's not on the 14th. No, it was the 7th was the full moon, so it would be I can't add all of a sudden, the 21st? Is that when I think it's the 21st, the 20th or the 21st for the Scorpio new moon. 14 feels really significant though, in like a, this, I'm keep getting 14 days. So maybe for some of you, you really notice this integration occurring in 14 days. But beyond that, new moon, there is something very significant about whenever you see this and whenever this resonates for you, the next new moon. For right now, for the purpose of this, because of when I'm recording it, we're going to talk about the Scorpio new moon. But I feel like the new moon in March as well is coming through as really important and linked to this reading. And I don't know what that new moon would be. Oh, well, it would be either Pisces or Aries. It depends on when it falls. I'm not sure. I'm getting a hit more on the Pisces new moon. And the new moon in May because of 5. The Taurus new moon. Oh, yeah, Taurus, because Taurus and Scorpio are the axis. Okay, so anyway, this, yeah, I really feel like 11:11 is kind of the opening point for this revelation, this coming together, the tower for the divine masculine. The Queen of Swords, the divine feminine feels a little bit farther along in her process. It feels like she is at a point of already integrating this, but there is another piece to this that she is going to receive or will be revealed around the new moon following whenever you see this message. And it's reminding us the importance of being deliberate in our intentions. And setting intentions is, of course, something that is highly suggested around the new moon. So if this really resonates with you, setting an intention around integrating the divine masculine and the divine feminine within you. And it's that internal integration that if you are interested in a relationship or you would like to see this reflected in your relationships, to focus on the internal integration first and always as the priority, because that's where it begins. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. This has been way longer than I anticipated. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope that this was helpful. And again, check out the links in the description box, the activation for the Cosmic Symphony at the Hearth of Continuity activation. That link is down there. I'll put a link for the Mercury retrograde reflections and for the membership as well, because both of those offerings are available and included in the Explorer membership. All right. Thank you guys so much. I will see you soon. Thank you.